Chapter 21. The word which came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, when King Zedekiah sent unto him Pashur, the son of Melchiah, and Zephaniah, the son of Messiah, the priest, saying, Inquire, I pray thee, of the Lord for us, for Nebuchadrezzar king of Babylon maketh war against us. If so be that the Lord will deal with us according to all his wondrous works, that he may go up from us. Then said Jeremiah unto them, Thus shall ye say to Zedekiah, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, wherewith ye fight against the king of Babylon, and against the Chaldeans, which besiege you without the walls. And I will assemble them into the midst of the city. And I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath. And I will smite the inhabitants of this city, both man and beast. They shall die of a great pestilence. And afterward, saith the Lord, I will deliver Zedekiah king of Judah and his servants and the people, and such as are left in this city, from the pestilence, from the sword, and from the famine, into the hands of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those that seek their life. And he shall smite them with the edge of the sword. He shall not spare them, neither have pity, nor have mercy. And unto this people thou shalt say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I set before you the way of life and the way of death. He that abideth in this city shall die by the sword, and by famine, and by the pestilence. But he that goeth out and falleth to the Chaldeans that besiege you, he shall live, and his life shall be unto him for a prey. For I have set my face against this city for evil, and not for good, saith the Lord. It shall be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire. And touching the house of the king of Judah, say, Hear ye the word of the Lord. O house of David, thus saith the Lord, Execute judgment in the morning, and deliver him that is spoiled out of that hand of the oppressor, lest my fury go out like fire, and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings. Behold, I am against thee, O inhabitant of the valley and rock of the plain, saith the Lord, which say, Who shall come down against us, or who shall enter into our habitations? But I will punish you according to the fruit of your doings, saith the Lord. And I will kindle a fire in the forest thereof, and it shall devour all things round about it. Just in case you've forgotten, King Zedekiah was one of the evil kings. And when King Zedekiah sent Pashur, the head of the temple, to see Jeremiah, he sent him with a message. Basically, he wanted to know, Zedekiah wanted Pashur to ask Jeremiah if the Lord would fight for and defend Jerusalem. Now the hope was, on the part of the king and all the people who lived at Jerusalem, that because the temple of the Lord was there, that the Lord would defend it. The Lord had rejected the temple because the people had corrupted it by taking altars for strange gods, and taking statues of idols and worshiping, burning incense, doing all kinds of corrupt things there, pornographic worship, all kinds of absolute crudity. And so they had basically defiled the temple, and as with anything that was ruined, it had no value. Jeremiah's answer had three parts to it. Verses 4 through 7, there is no hope. The Nebuchadnezzar is going to capture and kill everybody who fights. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. That's exactly the way it's going to be. Verses 8 through 10, what Zedekiah and the royal family could do is surrender rather than fight. If they did it up front, Nebuchadnezzar would spare their lives. I wouldn't kill them, but it would take them back as prisoners, and they would be treated as prisoners. And verses 11 through 14 in chapter 21, and verses 1 through 9 in chapter 22, which we'll get to next, a prophecy about the house, the royal lineage of David, the line of kings from David. And basically what he said was that if they return to absolute righteousness, then God would preserve the line. But if not, then the throne would be desolate. In other words, there would not be a royal throne in Israel ever again. So that was part of the problem. Now, there's some other things that are sort of part of this. Gilead, which was on the east side of the Jordan River, Balm of Gilead area, was the best soil, best growing soil in all of Israel. And Nebuchadnezzar went through and literally took everything edible out of that to feed his troops. Lebanon was the highest mountains and the most beautiful trees you could imagine. Cedars of Lebanon were absolutely phenomenal trees. And most of them, or many of them, were cut down to build the wall around Jerusalem. And other things, which the Babylonians liked. Not too many trees around the Euphrates River Valley where Babylon is. And so basically what happened was Nebuchadnezzar came and harvested everything, including the people. And he did it because the people were wicked and defiled themselves and defiled the land and defiled the temple and defiled the city and defiled the covenant, and they were totally unworthy of being looked after. And that was the message that Jeremiah was giving them. I'm sure he wasn't thrilled to give that message, but he did what the Lord told him.